This is a beef and chorizo, spicy beef and chorizo patty. And kind of the star of it is a charred tomato salsa. So I have an entire bulb or head of garlic. We cut the end off, not the root end. We want to expose all the cloves to a little bit of oil. I have some non-aerosol spray olive oil. We've got a few vine-ripe tomatoes, readily available year-round vine tomatoes, but they're not going to have a ton of flavor. Roasting them ups their game when it comes to the flavor that they do have to offer. So I quartered them, threw them on I just lined this with a little bit of foil. You can use parchment for easier cleanup. Now, when it comes to the chili peppers, if you want to cut back on the heat in a chili pepper, you would halve it and remove all of the insides. The ribs and seeds are where the heat lives in chilies, so this makes this a lot milder in flavor. My husband and I love spicy food, so we leave the chilies whole and we just trim the stem away from the top and throw them on to the sheet pan. When it comes to the onion, a large white, yellow, or red onion, any of the three is fine. And all I do is quarter it or cut it into 6 wedges, cut it into wedges with the root attached so it's easier to handle, and peel off the outer layer. Throw that on your baking sheet. Now we're gonna spray down all of our ingredients with a little bit of the olive oil and season them up with salt and pepper. And then you're gonna throw them again, rack in the middle of the oven, oven on broil, char them evenly. If you're leaving your peppers whole, give them a turn. And then you have to take this mixture out and let it cool so you can handle it. Now, for this burger, I bought fresh chorizo. You cut the casings off, and you mix your ground sirloin. I buy 80% lean for burgers, with the chorizo in a 2-to-1 ratio. Salt and pepper, of course, liberal amount of salt and pepper. And I drizzle a little fat in there, a little bit of olive or vegetable oil. And then you combine these together. I'll come back to you in a couple, and we'll flip our patties and finish our salsa right after this. Okay, so now we're putting our charred onion, our charred tomatoes, our chilies, whole or seeded, all into our food processor. We're taking our cooled garlic and we're gonna squish those cloves in as well. Now we're gonna add a little bit of cilantro. We're gonna add a tiny bit, just a pinch, of ground cinnamon. This highlights the flavor in this smoky sweet salsa. We're going to add in a little hot smoked paprika if you want extra spicy, sweet smoked paprika if you want less spicy. Sprinkle of that really highlights that smoky flavor. A little Mexican oregano. A drizzle of honey or agave, and the juice of a lime. And I think we're gonna need a little extra dash of salt there. Okay, away we go. And again, this keeps for weeks. Put it in a mason jar or a plastic food storage container, leave it in the fridge. Great for snacking with chips, great for nachos. Done. Pop this off, check on our burgers. Once you flip your chorizo and beef burgers, oh, they're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Once you flip your patties, wait another minute or two, okay? You're gonna want, for a 1-inch burger, your burger will be in the pan roughly 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. Once you flip, the first side takes 3 or 4 minutes. Once you flip, wait a minute or two, then the last minute throw on your cheese. I'm using sliced pepper jack. When we come back, we're gonna stack up our patties after this. With our Super Bowl burgers, we're gonna start with mild or spicy pickled jalapeno peppers instead of pickles on the bottom of the bun. Then we're gonna add a little bit of white onion. Then we're gonna add a little bit of lettuce so we don't have to make a salad. And we can say we're nice and healthy because we had roughage. And then we're gonna take one of our beef and chorizo burgers with 2 slices of cheese. And then we have our smoky, homemade, roasted tomato salsa. But before we put the salsa, what would salsa like to be hanging out with? Barbecue potato chips? Your salsa.